Yo 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 yo. What's going on? What's happening? What's popping? How we doing, man? How we feeling tonight? How we feeling tonight on this Monday night? On this Monday night, what's going on, y'all? We just gonna step in real quick. This is a real quick pop up. Didn't have no intentions on doing a live tonight, but it's been a lot going on, obviously, in the Atlanta Falcons land. So I really just want to step in for a quick spell, then step right out for a quick spell. Y'all know how it go. You know how sometimes when you go to that party and you know you're not gonna stay long. You know, you go in there, you show your face. Hey, what's going on? How you been? Yeah, everything going good. Yeah, I see you looking good, boy. And you step right out before they know you was even left the premises. So that's really what we want to do here today. So let's get this party started. Speaking of parties, man, the Atlanta Falcons have signed. Well, it's not official yet, but unofficially official. They signed Tua. I can't even say his last name. Y'all know, I'm a country boy, man. Tua Tagovailoa. I gotta figure that. Tagovailoa. I don't know. Tua. We're gonna just say Tua. The Falcons are signing Tua for a 1 year deal, $1.3 million. And I'm just gonna go get straight to the meat of everything, man. Like since that signing happened, and we have been talking about this on the Facebook page, on the Bird Gang Facebook page before it even happened. And now that it has happened, man, like just seeing like this big uproar of complaints, people complaining about it, people crying about it, people upset about it. I mean, just like, excuse me, this big uproar, man. And I don't know what people expected. And the people I talk to about it, the people that I encounter, when I have a conversation, I'll be like, well, what did y'all expect? Because they have a lot of salary cap money going to free agency. Like, well, who did y'all think they were gonna get? Like, did you think they were gonna make a blockbuster trade for Drake May? Do you think the Patriots were gonna send Drake May down here? Do you think Dan Quinn was gonna do his old team a real solid and trade us a 5th round pick or 6th round pick for Jane Daniels? Think we're gonna get Lamar, Josh Allen? Like, I try to ask people, like, what did y'all expect? What did y'all expect? Let's start off with some of what I've been hearing. I'm gonna tell y'all everything I've been hearing because I've been hearing a good deal. But this is what I've been hearing when talking about Tua or when people complain they don't want Tua. Well, the first thing they say is Tua's injury history, which is valid. I'm gonna give anybody that is valid. That's a valid thing. Just like the people who were real skeptical of drafting Michael Pennix because of his injury history, that was a valid concern. Very valid. I take nothing away from that. When you got a point, I'm going to tell you got a valid point. So there's not a whole lot I can say about that. But you're signing to it for $1.3 million. This is not like it was 2 years ago when you signed old man Kirk Cousins coming off a serious injury to $100 million guaranteed over 2 years. There is a very big difference in those two signings in regards to being concerned about injuries. Like the whole thing with Tua, this is a very low risk, high reward type of situation. So I mean, I knock on wood, but if the unfortunate thing happens and if he does get injured, so what? You've invested $1.3 million. And now let's be honest. I wish I had $1.3 million, which I obviously don't. But in the NFL for quarterbacks, that's essentially you getting this guy playing for you for free. In the NFL for quarterbacks. Now, like for me, that's life-changing money for me. I'm being straight up with you. But in the NFL for quarterbacks, $1.3 million, man, you basically have a player you have a quarterback on your roster who's essentially playing for you for 1 year for free. Not technically, But you get my drift. $1.3 million. I mean, that's nothing in the NFL for quarterback money, man. That's nothing. I mean, you got most of all the starting kickers in the NFL make more than that. So if he gets hurt, so what? So what? You know, people, oh man, he got this big injury history. So what? Okay. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. You know, just like Michael Pennix. If we get it's like this, y'all. We bring Tua to the team. If we get in a situation where Tua, and again, I'm knocking on wood, where Tua gets hurt and Pennix gets hurt, then you know what we're gonna do at that point in time as a team? We're going to take the season for what it's worth and get ready for the 2027 draft and draft us a quarterback in the top 5, the top 7, the top 8. So if we go through a situation when Tua and Pennix is hurt, all right, boys, let's get ready for that 2027 draft. That's what's going to happen. Let's be honest. We're Falcons fans. We're not winning a Super Bowl this year anyway. I mean, let's just call that for what it is. It's not like this is a Super Bowl team going into the season when you don't even know who your quarterback is going to be. So if Tua gets hurt on a $1.3 million contract, so what? You only invested $1.3 million in him. Who was the alternative? When you're speaking about the alternative, people say, well, hey, man, we could have got Kyler Murray for that kind of money. Yeah, you could have. But did Kyler Murray want to come to Atlanta? That's the question that a lot of people don't ask themselves. As Falcons fans, we have this very, very bad habit of assuming that everybody wants to play for the Falcons. Like we're some illustrious franchise with 8 Super Bowls, and you know we're the biggest city in America. Yeah, we love the Falcons. Them football players love to come to Atlanta to party, you know, and talk to the women and all that stuff. But that don't mean that they want to come here and play. You know, we got to look at ourselves in the mirror. Like a lot of people look at us as Loserville. Just be honest. I'm not here to BS y'all. So just because we wanted Kyler, or just because some of our fans wanted Kyler, that don't mean Kyler wanted Atlanta. Kyler is a free agent. That means he can go wherever he wants to go. This is not a trade situation where he's being traded to a team and he may not have as much say-so as he'd like to have. He got a free agent. So he can sit back, you know, survey the landscape and figure out what he wants to do. And a lot of fans, like when they talk about stuff like this, they don't consider that. They are like, we hold all the cards. Like we can just make players come and play here. It don't work like that. These players have options, and many of those players they actually exercise their options quite often. So that's the thing with Kyler Murray. Another thing I hear, and y'all excuse me because I'm about to get on one of my fan bases. I'm about to get on one of my fan bases, but I gotta keep it a brick. I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. Another thing I hear, oh man, well, we should have won. We need to go get Stetson Bennett. Those are the UGA fans. I'm a diehard UGA fan. If you watch even a little bit of my content, I'm sure you've heard me talk about the Bulldogs, go Dogs. But I must admit, the Georgia Bulldogs fans can be some of the most aggravated motherfuckers on the planet. Real, for real. I sit back sometimes and I just watch how Bulldog fans carry on when talking sports. Like, man, we some aggravating motherfuckers. But that's a different story. Georgia Bulldogs, hey, go get Stetson Bennett. I love Stet, first off. To me, Stetson Bennett is the most important. Listen to what I say. He's the most important. I'm not saying he's the best or he's the most talented, but he's the most important Georgia Bulldog in football history thus far, surpassing the great Herschel Walker once Georgia went back-to-back. But with that said, I also, and I am biased to Georgia players, but it's not to the point where I just feel like the Falcons have to revolve around UGA. Now, if I see special talented UGA players, yeah, and they're available, yeah, you know, I may mention them, but once I realized, like, it ain't happening. It ain't just happening. Stetson Bennett was not a free agent. Stetson Bennett is under contract. Stetson Bennett has been in the league for years now. He has never taken a snap in a regular season game. So the Georgia Bulldogs fans who just waving their Stetson Bennett flag, hey, we don't want to let go of Stetson and the national championship. To me, I say this respectfully, but a lot of those fans, I've come to realize that they're just casual NFL fans. They're more than likely diehard Georgia Bulldog fans, but they're very casual NFL fans. If the Falcons were to acquire a trade for Stetson, they would then watch the Falcons because Stetson is on the team, and whenever he leaves the team, then they're going to stop watching. So those are just casual. They're casual NFL fans, but they're very loud. That's how it is a lot of times, especially now with the internet being so prominent. A lot of the casuals are loud, just like the whole Super Bowl controversy. The casuals were the loudest people of the bunch, but the Georgia Bulldog fans and the Stetson Bennett, and then some of the Bulldog fans didn't want Tua because of what happened in Atlanta, 2nd and 26. That hurt so bad. And being that Tua was a quarterback that did that to us. But for me, I blame UGA more. I blame UGA more than anything about that situation happening. Plus, that was in college, man. Like, we ain't really taking college beefs to the NFL. That's a college situation. So I'm not even. That's not even on my mind at all when talking about this Tua situation. Then some people like, oh man, like, and I'm real glad. I'm glad he signed early, so this could have got out of the way. Not saying that I would not have liked him, but Malik Willis, signed for about $23 million a year. Atlanta Falcons could not afford that. They could not afford to pay him $23 million a year. And Malik was one of the first free agents who announced that they were signing, or whose agents announced that he had signed, ironically, with Miami. He's Tua's replacement. So those are some of the names that I've seen people. Joe Flacco. Oh, we should go get Flacco. And I've been asking people all day, hey, sir, did you watch Joe Flacco play yesterday? Excuse me. Did you watch Joe Flacco play last year? Oh, we should go get Joe Flacco. Excuse me. Did you watch Joe Flacco play last year? Oh, let's go get Flacco. Pardon me. Did you watch any of Joe Flacco play football last year? And you know what? None of them, out of all the people I talked to, nobody could say, yeah, I did. And even if they did watch him play, they don't want to admit that they watched him play because he sucked. He sucked. He fucking sucked. He sucked. You watched, and I'm not trying to play like Tua is Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson, but if you watched Tua last year and if you watched Flacco last year and your preference is still to go get Flacco this year, something is wrong with you. Joe Flacco was fucking terrible last year. Absolutely terrible. I think he finished 1-5 as a starter before they benched him. I think he had 2 touchdowns and like 5 or 6 interceptions. 2 touchdowns out of like 6 games and 5 or 6 interceptions. He was terrible. But people, go get Flacco. And that's another thing about Falcons fans. I love them to death, but excuse me. A lot of times they'll hear somebody or some people say something, and then they'll just go reiterate it. Especially the ones who live and die about what the people on the radio say. I had somebody tell me like 2 days ago, well, even the people on the radio said that. I'm like, you think I give a damn what them transplants say? Do you think I give a shit what them transplants say? And that's what I told them. I said, you think I give a damn what them transplants say? What makes their opinion more credible than mine? It's, just like what makes my opinion more credible than yours. But don't tell me what people on the radio say. I don't care. You think I'm gonna cower my opinion just because a transplant on the radio says something different? Like, are you crazy? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? Really? But what was the alternative? And again, I'm not trying to make it like Tua is going to go out here and win the MVP and take us to the Super Bowl. But for $1.3 million, what was the alternative? And then, the funny thing, too, about Falcons fans is like, we looked at some data, right? And over the last 5 years, I'm gonna try to say this right because it's something that was posted earlier. But over the last 5 years, the Atlanta Falcons have won. I want to make sure I say this right, but I think I got it right. But over the last 5 years, the Atlanta Falcons have played in 85 games. They've won 37 of the 85. Let me say that again. In the last 5 years, the Atlanta Falcons have played in 85 games. They have won 37 of the 85. That's 44% winning percentage. The Falcons are. Over the last 5 years, the Falcons have won 37 games. Tua Tagovailoa, however you say his last name. Over the same period of time, over the last 5 years, Tua has started 67 games. So Tua has started about 20 less games than the Falcons have played in as a franchise. Over the last 5 years, Tua has started 67 games. And he has won 38 of the 67 for a 57% winning percentage. So over the last 5 years, Tua has a vastly better winning percentage than the Atlanta Falcons as a franchise. He has won more games than the Falcons as a franchise. But I don't understand how our fans act like we're too good for Tua, or we're too good to stoop down to Tua's level. How? And let's not forget, this is the same guy that whipped our ass last year. So I be wondering sometimes, like, where we get our standards from? Like, who's setting these standards for us? Like, we're too good for Tua, But like I say, if your thing is that he's been injured, I can get that. I do get that. But I have people say, "Oh man, he's trash, or he sucks, or he's terrible." I'm like, no. I mean, I'm not gonna jump on a limb and say he's a great quarterback or he's an elite quarterback, but to go all the way down to trash or terrible, that's the part of the internet and the sports dialogue that happens on the internet that really frustrates me a lot of time, because even in music, because people have lost the ability to use it to it's always the drastic classic or elite or garbage or trash. What happened to he's okay, he's pretty good, he all right, he even as we say he's straight, but people, oh man, he trash, he garbage. Like, no, he's not. There is no substantiated data that you can pull that will support anybody's opinion to say that Tua's trash or he's garbage. He may not be your cup of tea, because everybody got different style of quarterbacks that they like. So he may not be your cup of tea, but there is not any kind of data, whether that means completion percentage, whether that means quarterback rating, whether that means QBR, whether that means overall win and loss ratios, games won compared to games lost, whether that be TD to interception ratio. there is no data, no unbiased data that you can present to the council to say this is why he's trash, ladies and gentlemen. It will get rejected 100% of the time. So, Falcons fans, let's stop crying about Tua. Because who else was there to get? Who else was there to get? Then you hear, well, go draft Carson Beck. Those are the same people. And look, I love my Bulldogs. Go Dogs. But those are the same people that will argue with you that the Georgia Bulldogs will beat the Atlanta Falcons in a football game. Those are the same people. Those are the same people that will sit there and have an hour plus long argument with you that if the Falcons lined up on any given Saturday or any given Sunday, the Bulldogs can beat the Falcons. And I'll be like, you're a fucking idiot. Pardon my French, but that's what I'll be thinking to myself. Sometimes I'll say it depending on how big of an idiot this person is. You're a fucking idiot. If you honestly think this college team is going to beat these grown-ass men, these professionals, in a game of football, 4 quarters, you're a fucking idiot. You really are a fucking idiot. And you really need to stop talking football because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But you would be surprised on how many people were sitting there and trying to argue with you that the Georgia Bulldogs can beat the Falcons. Man, if they ever played, the Falcons would beat the Bulldogs by at least 30, 35, 40 points, somewhere in that area. But that's a moot point. Falcons fans like stop crying. Like, what did y'all want? What did y'all want? Give this new regime sufficient time to get their players here, to apply their blueprint on the team, what they're trying to do, what direction they're wanting to go. Like, man, we hadn't even made it through free agency, and like over half the fan base is already crying. They're already under the bed crying, scared of the monster. Like, what the fuck is going on? Can we at least wait to week 8 before we start crying? Can we at least wait to week 10? Can we at least wait till we on a 2-game losing streak before we start crying? We hadn't even played the first game yet. We hadn't even went to training camp yet. We hadn't even went to OTAs. You know what I mean? We hadn't even signed. We hadn't even did a draft yet. We hadn't even signed any draft picks yet. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are already crying. Like, and all of y'all who crying are the same ones who wanted Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris fired. Now they're fired, and now you're already crying about a new staff. It's like, God, Lee, give me a break. Do you ever stop fucking crying? Stop crying. Yeah, but listen, man, stop crying about Tua. It's not like there were a lot of different alternatives out there that you could feasibly and realistically turn to. Realistically, because you have to really stress the word realistically when you talk football to some of these fans. Some of these fans be on some real Madden fantasy football type of bull job. So you have to really stress that word realistically to them. Now, let me say this, speaking of, I forgot about the other one. I forgot to mention this earlier. But there were also a very significant segment of fans who thought that Kirk Cousins was going to come back. And if you've been following the content from AtlantaBirdGang, I've been telling anybody who would listen consistently, Kirk Cousins is not coming back to Atlanta. Where do y'all get this information from? As a person, as just a regular man, I like Kirk. Family man, always smiling. Seems like he has a very good attitude. Strong faith in his religion. It's hard not to like Kirk. You know what I'm saying? But that only goes so far. We still got to go out here and play football games and be a football team. So don't let your personal likes overstep like real common sense. I don't know what about this Kirk Cousins situation this last year that made so many people convinced that Kirk Cousins was coming back to the Falcons. Kirk Cousins was never coming back to the Falcons. That was obvious last season he wasn't going to come back. Then when they went and restructured that contract, after the contract restructured, people were still talking about he was coming back. And I was saying to myself, you fucking idiot. You rough. The whole purpose of the restructure was both sides scratching the other side's back. All right, I'm gonna scratch your back, you scratch my back. You know, Kirk is saying, you know what, look, I'll do this restructure and give you guys some salary cap money that you can use right now, and you can use right here in free agency. And you don't even have to worry about restructuring like Lindstrom contract or AJ Terrell contract or none of that. You can use this money right now today, you know, to franchise tag Kyle Pitts, whatever you need to do. But in return, we got to put in writing that y'all can't play with me. When I say play with me, when the new league year starts, I have to be released early, and that way I can make plans, me and my agent, me and my team, to maneuver to get myself on another team. You know, so these people know that I'm going to be available and my hands are washed with the Falcons. That's what that was all about. You look out for me, I look out for you. That's all what that was about. So I do salute Kirk in the sense for doing us that solid, even if you want to call it a solid, even though it was a favor for a favor, you know. But there was still a lot of people. Oh man, just bring Kirk back. Bring Kirk back for what? For what? Why would Stefanski want to keep the same quarterback room that got the other coaches and the other general manager fired? For what? What's the point of that? The only reason Pennix back because he's still on a rookie deal. He's still young. They don't know what they got in him yet. But why keep the same quarterbacks? If the plan was to keep the same quarterbacks, you might as well keep the same coaches. I don't know what people be thinking sometimes. I don't know what the hell they be thinking sometimes, man. Like it be this favoritism shit, bro. Like that's why I hate talking football with some people, because I just see like, oh man, you're not even trying to be objective. You just who you like the most personally for you. I'm not like that. I don't know none of these motherfuckers in real life. I like whoever can win us a Super Bowl. I'm saying that's who I like personally. You can win the Falcons a Super Bowl. That's who I like personally. But you know, you had these people that they swore Kirk Cousins was gonna come back. I knew that wasn't gonna happen. But yeah, man, like, stop crying about Tua. Like, bro, it's March. It's not even 90 degrees in Georgia yet, and they all already crying. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. Can we at least go through the process a little bit? At least go through the process before we doing all this crying. Goodness gracious. We had a lot of other moves today as well. We brought some familiar faces back. Zacchaeus, Austin Hooper. And we'll talk about I'll do another show and we'll go into detail about that. Like I said, this is just a quick pop-up. You know, me coming to the party, showing my face. Hey, how y'all been doing? Y'all doing good? You doing all right, boy? Good to see you. Ain't see you in a minute, boy. Give me some doubt. And just stepping right back out. So that's really what this is, man. And just tell people like, man, stop crying, stop complaining, man. You know, your frustration, your anger, your trauma level is no different than any other Falcons fan. We all been dealing with this stuff for a long time. But what good does it do to start crying at this point? Let us start losing first. Once we done lost 3 in a row, 4 out of the last 6 out of the last 9. Hey, at that point, go ahead and start crying. You know, at that point, but let us at least get to that point first. They just played the Super Bowl last month. The Super Bowl literally just played last month, and y'all are already crying. Y'all already crying. Like, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all. So again, like who else was out there? That the Falcons could have got realistically, man. I don't like that. Go get Carson back. Just draft somebody in the second round. And that's another fan that kills me when they just draft somebody. Just draft somebody in the second round. You don't even know what you want. You just want them to just draft somebody in the second round. They got to be better than Pennix. Again, you're a fucking idiot. That's what I be thinking to myself. You're a fucking idiot, dude. I can't see. I'm not gonna even waste my time any further engaging with you in any kind of football, any kind of sports dialect. I'm not gonna do it. Because then I would be a bigger idiot than you sit here wasting my time talking to a big idiot. That would make me a bigger idiot. Just draft somebody in the second round. But look, this is how this is gonna go. I'm gonna tell y'all how this is gonna go right now. This is how this is gonna go. Listen to your boy. Now we're starting to see why the Falcons. When I say the Falcons, I mean like Stefanski, Ian Cunningham, Matt Ryan. Why they were moving like they've been moving this last month or so. Because y'all know when Arthur Blank had his press conference, Michael Pennix is still our franchise quarterback. We got all the confidence in the world in Michael Pennix. That's still our guy. That's what Arthur Blank, that's what the Don Dada said, the big boss of the South. Blank said Pennix is still our guy. Still our, he's our franchise quarterback. That's what old granddad Arthur said. But they spent the block. And then they came back to Matt Ryan. Hey, Matt, what about Michael Pennix? Hey, man, I think the world of Mike. Yeah, he's been in the locker room. He's been working out. I'm seeing him once or twice a week. Great guy. And he kind of left it there. And then, like, the reporters, they went crazy, because at that point, it was boring and wasn't much to talk about. So, hey, man, Matt Ryan non-committed to Michael Pennix. Matt Ryan non-committed to Michael Pennix. That was like the headline news or whatever, right? Matt Ryan non-committed to Michael Pennix. Then, like, they came and spit the block again. Stefanski. Hey, Kevin, we talked to Matt Ryan and about Michael Pennix. Y'all know the reporters be on that bullshit because they want to get them stories and them headlines out. So they'll pose a question like this. Yeah, hey Kevin, we talked to Matt Ryan about Pennix, and we want to know what you think. Kevin Stefanski like, well, I'm not in the business of appointing any starters in February. And everybody like, oh, y'all know that. Y'all know how that went. Oh man, they not committed to minutes. And in between the time you have Michael Pennix going on his Instagram and kind of barking and whatever. But I'm gonna tell y'all, like, it's starting to make sense to me now. Like, the Falcons already knew, like, and a lot of us already knew this too, but they were going to get a veteran who could come in here and push Michael Pennix. Like, listen, they're looking at this like, all right, Pennix, you hurt again. That's a disappointment. And for everybody, and this is something I've been talking about also, but for everybody who just thinks that this is Michael Pennix's job, lock and key, like he's 2015 Matt Ryan or 2016 Matt Ryan, like he just got this on lock. You're going to be in for a rude awakening this offseason. And it started today. So they went in there and they made sure they got them a viable veteran who has shown he can win some games and he can play good football. So Pennix, you're the projected starter. But we're sending waves out there about the things we say and the things that we do, that if Tua comes out here and he has a great count, he's lining it up, he happens to start the first 2 or 3 games, and we're 3-0. Pennix, there's no guarantee you're going to get off the bench, sir. So it would be in your best interest. We're not telling you to rush your rehab. That's the last thing we want you to do. Rush back and get hurt again. But it would be in your best interest to do everything you can to get on the field, to learn the playbook, and be mentally prepared to play football. Because if Tua comes in and he looks the part, he may not sit down. Now, is that another quarterback controversy once again? Possibly. I'm not gonna play with it. Possibly. But that's what this all is. They're letting you know with their moves. They're not totally sold on Michael Pennix. And another important component of this, if Tua comes in, he plays, he stinks. Pennix comes in, he kind of looks like last year's Pennix. He hasn't shown any signs of progression, any signs of true maturation. The team is losing. The Falcons are going to stock up on draft picks, and they're going to go into the 2027 draft, and they're going to take a quarterback with their first pick. Unless there's some quarterback that hit free agency that they can afford. But more than likely, they will draft the quarterback. So long story short story long, this is a proven season for Michael Pennix. It is. Everybody who thought he had his job just locked up and he could just, do what he want to do and can't nobody, okay. Oh, keep thinking that. Okay. But I'm telling you, let Tua come out here and he balling. First 3 or 4 games, he balling the Falcons undefeated. He's not going to sit down anytime soon. I promise you that. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, like I say, this is going to be quick. I just dip in and dip right back out. But we're going to come back sometime soon this week, and then we're going to sit down and we're going to really have going to break down the Falcons free agency. We'll continue to talk about Michael Pennix. We'll continue to talk about Tua. We'll talk about Zacchaeus coming back. We'll talk about my boy Hooper coming back. By that time, we'll know whether or not Caden Ellis will or won't be re-signed. We'll talk about that. And we'll just have us a good spades game via YouTube Live. But we'll do that. Y'all make sure to do your dog a favor. Y'all know I kind of been gone a little bit, from YouTube. But hit that like button, man, and that way YouTube can put me back in the algorithm and start shooting videos out. And that way, it's easy to get the content out. So, everybody that's watching right now, go ahead and hit that like button. Everybody who's gonna watch on the replay, gang. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button too. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.